Hello and welcome to Glasgow Rangers Nation with me, your host, Owen. Well, it's the morning after the night before. Yeah, and we're I don't know, still trying to compute what happened last night and get our heads around that very depressing performance in Eindhoven. It was just not good enough, was it? Just absolutely shocking. Poor performance from Rangers. Performance that let down the fans, that let down the club, that let down the jersey. And you know what? I really do think that the players should club together and pay all the expenses back to all the fans who made the journey over to Eindhoven last night. Apart from Jack Butland can keep his wages because without Jack, I think the score would have been 10, 11, 12-1 maybe. Jack pulled off some fantastic saves. And I'll be honest with you, he's the only summer signing who's impressed me so far. He's come in, he showed class. He's been a quality player. He showed leadership. He's done everything he's been asked of him. Yes, I know he let 5 goals in last night, but I don't think he is to blame for any of them. You know, not his fault. But at the end of the day, what can you say about last night? But one thing that is quite clear coming out of last night's game is that performance level was wholly unacceptable from Rangers. And you've got to ask the question now, how much pressure is the team and, per se, Michael Beale under after that appalling display? And to me, it's not just a culmination of last night. It's not just last night's performance. It's a culmination of all the displays this season. I think we've been poor. I think we've due to the fact that we play in such a poor league, we've been able to paper over the cracks a little bit. You know, the likes of, with the greatest respect to them, St Johnstone's, Livingstone's, Morton's, you know, St Mirren's, not good teams at the end of the day. And you can get away, you can hide your weaknesses a little bit better in the SPFL if you've got a couple of top class players and like Cantwell and, you know, Butland and so on. You can kind of hide that. But when it comes to Europe, when you're playing against the very best, you get exposed. And we got horribly exposed last night. But look, I don't think it's just down to the fact that the players are not up to it. And I've heard I've listened to a few pods this morning. I've read an awful lot of stuff on social media from fans. I've read an awful lot of articles this morning, and I've seen a lot of good points. I've also read and heard a lot of rubbish. One excuse that I am not prepared to tolerate any longer and is this gelling excuse. You know, you heard it been discussed this morning on Rangers Review. You know, this team needs time to gel. Well, how bloody long do they need to gel? Fact that last night, 8 of the players that started last night were here last season, so we're playing with the exact same team, with the exact same players, and we're playing with the exact same tactics under the exact same manager from January. So, to me, the gelling excuse is not a valid one anymore. It's just gone out the window. You've got to look at last night as well, and you look at it, and I've watched the game, and I watched the game back this morning, and to me, there's no evidence of a shape to the team. There's no evidence of any tactics. I couldn't tell what the team were trying to achieve. Were they trying to sit back? Were they trying to counter-attack? Did they want to attack? 4-4-2. Do you want to attack? I don't know what they were doing. And to me, the players didn't look like they knew what they were doing either. They looked lost. If I'm being wholly honest, they looked absolutely lost last night. It wasn't good enough. It simply was not good enough. Michael Beale's got to carry some of the can for that. You know, he's been in place since January. Yes, I know he's had this squad. He's developed this squad, and he had those pre-season games, 4 pre-season games, where theoretically the focus was Europe, wasn't it? That's what we were being told. That's why we were told we were playing Newcastle, Olympiacos, and Hamburg, and going away to Hoffenheim, as it was good Champions League preparation. Well, a bit out the window now, isn't it? And look, if you're saying, well, I'm glad because Europa League's more our level, have you actually looked at the teams in the Europa League this year? Ajax, Liverpool, Bayer Leverkusen, AS Roma, Olympique Marseille, Villarreal. There's some very, very strong teams who are, in all intents and purposes, Champions League teams playing in the Europa League because their domestic leagues are so strong, or their domestic leagues are dominated by a couple of exceptionally strong teams. Bayern Munich, Barcelona, Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid in the case of Spain. Italy, Atalanta, but AC Milan, Inter Milan, Juventus, Napoli have dominated over the last few years. So, you know, at the end of the day, these are strong teams we're going to be facing. So the Europa League is not going to be an easy ride for us. And it'll be a lot tougher than even when we got all the way to the final. It is, guys, a massive game this weekend. This game, 12 o'clock Sunday, is huge. It is huge for both teams, not just for Rangers, but for both teams. Are under tremendous amounts of pressure. I've got to say, I cannot ever remember a time in Old Firm history when both managers were under so much pressure. You know, whichever manager loses, and if there is a winner and a loser on on Sunday, then for me, that person comes under extraordinary pressure. Really does come under extraordinary pressure. I'll be honest with you, I don't think even a draw is good enough. I think if it's a draw, that's not good enough either. For me, Rangers have to win. If they don't win, then it's not good enough. A draw at home is not good enough. A loss is definitely not good enough. Either of those results puts Michael Beale in a very, very bad place. Now, I'm not for a minute saying sack him. I know some Rangers fans are saying sack him, but he hasn't actually won a meaningful game for us yet. He lost a semi-final. He lost a cup final. Every Old Firm game that had something riding on it. Now, I know all Old Firm games have, in theory, something riding on it because it's the Glasgow Derby. It's a massive game. The passion of the fans, the hatred between the two teams, I get that. But theoretically, that last game of the season did have zero riding on it. They didn't need to win the league. We weren't chasing them. When it's actually mattered, when we could have closed the gap on them, he hasn't done it. And team selection has been wrong. Tactics have been wrong. And to me, it looks like there is no tactic. There is no shape. There is no vision to this team at all. And we need to find one. Width is sadly lacking. And I think come the end of this transfer window, we really do need to see the player going out and try and get a replacement for Ryan Kent. Ola Solbakken is the subject of a $4 million bid by Leeds at the moment, the Roma winger. Is it not worth having a dig for him, maybe? So for me, things need to be done. That defence is awful. It is shocking. 3/4 of that defence is just so poor. John Souttar was poor last night, but he's not being played in his right position. He's not a left-sided centre-back. He's a right-sided centre-back. James Tavernier is great going forward, scored last night. Well done, Tav. But your defending is awful. You can't defend to save your life. Borna went down injured. He's out for Sunday. Who do we play left back? Sterling came on, had a stinker. Yilmaz is not fit, is he? So, what do we do? What do we do? Look, this is a team I would pick for Sunday. I think it's kind of a team of necessity rather than a team of choice. Back forward, Tavernier, Goldson, Souttar. I think we put Devine at left back. He's played left back before. He's done okay. But at the end of the day, what else is there? Ridvan's injured. Borna's allegedly injured. Sterling he's not a left back for me. Jack's got to play. Raskin's got to play. That's a fact. I think Jack and Raskin have to play. Jack has to play. I think we badly missed Ryan Jack last night. I think his defensive abilities and his ability to cover the back four. The back four was so exposed last night. And I think they really missed Ryan Jack. Ryan Jack makes people look better around him. Ryan's got to play on Sunday. I then go with three in front of him. I'd put Lawrence on the right, Matondo on the left, giving width. Cantwell as the 10, free to roam where he wanted to. And I'd put Roof up front. Roof's the best striker we've got at the club. Right, Roof's the best finisher. When we get a chance on Sunday, we've got to take the chance. Dessers, for me, fluffs his lines too many times. Last night, one chance that he had, he fluffed it. 3 chances against Ross County, he fluffed them all. The guy's missed more chances than Cholak scored goal. Well, Cholak, I think, scored more goals than Lammers, Dessers, and Danilo combined by this point last season. It's not good enough. It really is not good enough. There needs to be changes, and Michael Beale needs to make changes. Do I think he'll make these changes? No. Do I think he'll go with the same tired old format? Yes, I do. I can't see what's going to happen. I really hope we win on Sunday. We've got to win. There is no excuse. A draw is not good enough. A defeat is a disaster, and he will come under so much pressure, and he needs to realise that. How much pressure are they under? Loads. So much pressure going into Sunday. They need to get their heads back around this. Get the focus back. We all know that this league is the main thing this season. It's the most important thing. We need to focus ready for Sunday. Well, guys, let me know what you think in the comments down below. And as always, I need you to do 2 things for me. Number 1, smash the like. Number 2, remember, we are...